Bruh, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. You feel me? And it's crazy because they won't even do it like that. It was customer. Hello. How are you doing today? What can I do for you?
Hey, birthday girl. What you doing? Are you having breakfast?
Breakfast on my birthday.
Yeah, birthday girl.
I just can't stomach the fact that I have to live the rest of my life without my mom. My daughter has to live the rest of her life without her grandma because a coward wanted to take her life.
These heartbreaking words from Tyler Williams and her granddaughter resonate a pain no daughter should ever have to endure. Amanda Williams, a 46-year-old beloved hairstylist, salon owner, devoted mother, and vibrant community figure in Warrenville Heights, Ohio, would be shot 6 times by her fiance in their shared bedroom on the night of October 9, 2023. On that terrible evening, police would discover Amanda lying unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds while her fiancé, Tyrell Edwards, admitted to the shooting and claimed self-defense. But before we get to that devastating moment, let me take you back to where their paths crossed in 2017, and we'll uncover the warning signs that tragically went unheeded. Amanda Sharon Williams was born on April 18, 1977 in Cleveland, Ohio, and to a close-knit family that emphasized faith, education, and entrepreneurship. From an early age, Amanda embodied the values her family instilled in her. Her mother, Georgia Williams, served as a steadfast matriarch, guiding the family through both challenges and celebrations. Amanda grew up alongside her brother Joey Lewis and other siblings in a household that prioritized strong bonds, religious faith, and self-reliance. At just 19 years old, Amanda began her professional journey in the beauty industry. She quickly established herself as a talented hairstylist with a gift for connecting with clients. Amanda founded A La Mode Style Salon in University Heights, a suburb of Cleveland, where she specialized in weaves and innovative hair products, including specialized oils that catered to diverse hair types. Her salon became a hub for community connection and empowerment. Clients remembered her for her amazing weaves and the personal warmth she brought to every interaction. Her establishment was celebrated as one of Cleveland's fastest-growing beauty brands, and she earned the affectionate title of boss among peers and admirers. Beyond her thriving business, Amanda was deeply committed to her faith and community service. She was a dedicated member of the Word Church in Warrensville Heights, where Pastor Dr. R.A. Vernon regarded her as a spiritual daughter.
And I want to say to all of you, look at all these people paying attention to me, those watching all over the world, spiritual maturity creates knowledge. I want to learn when I come to church. I don't want to just feel. Let me walk out of there with something that's going to blow my business up, with something that's going to help me make a good selection as a single, something that's going to help me treat my husband right. What does the word say, Pastor? What does the Bible say? Spiritual maturity. Here's one of my greatest Vernonisms. Please, somebody quote this or something at my funeral because I love it.
The church provided a space for spiritual growth and communal support, where Amanda actively participated in services and events. Her faith-driven commitment extended to her role in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. As a beloved soror, Amanda collaborated with her sisters on initiatives like monthly events at the Norma Hare Women's Shelter, where they provided support to those in need. This work aligned perfectly with Delta Sigma Theta's legacy of civic engagement. Amanda was also a devoted mother. She had at least 2 adult children, her daughter Tyler Williams and her son Tristan Bentley. Tyler herself was a mother of a young daughter, making Amanda a proud grandmother. Family members consistently described Amanda as optimistic, loyal, and a source of light.
My mother was a family-oriented person. She was my motivator, my best friend. She was the glue to this family.
In 2017, Amanda's life intersected with that of Tyrell C. Edwards. Edwards, born January 4, 1982, was 41 years old at the time of the shooting. He held multiple jobs to support himself and his 3 minor children from previous relationships. Edwards worked at university hospitals and as a delivery driver for Walmart, and he was known for being reliable and paying child support. On the surface, Edwards appeared to be a hardworking man fulfilling his responsibilities. He had no prior felony convictions in Cuyahoga County before the 2023 incident, which his defense team would later emphasize during his trial. In 2017, the relationship between Amanda and Edwards began. By 2019, Edwards had moved into Amanda's home on Sunset Drive, which she shared with her adult daughter Tyler and young granddaughter Tyler. Their relationship progressed, and in 2022, the couple became engaged. Edwards would describe their relationship as generally positive prior to the incident. However, beneath this outward appearance of normalcy, there were deeply troubling signs that suggested a pattern of abuse. In November 2020, a significant incident occurred that would later become crucial evidence. Text messages from that time revealed that Edwards had kicked Amanda in the face or head during an altercation. The messages showed Edwards apologizing for his actions. On November 27, 2020, Amanda wrote a text message to Edwards that painted a devastating picture of what she had endured. The message read, "Every time I look in the mirror, I get angry all over again. To walk around looking like a battered woman is not only embarrassing, but humiliating. To use your foot to do damage is one of the ultimate sign of destruction, and you complain about me being a strong woman. Well, if I weren't as strong as I am, I would have had you thrown in jail and exposed you to everyone." Edwards' response was telling. He wrote back, "I'm glad we're both strong and I hope you feel better. I'm sorry for what I did." Edwards wasn't claiming it was a misunderstanding, as he admitted he had used his foot to cause damage to her face. When he followed up with another message saying he wished the love they had for each other would show every day unconditionally, Amanda's response was chilling. "It will never be the same." Amanda had pictures on her phone of her face showing the injuries, as well as pictures of herself in the hospital 2 days earlier getting treatment. She had taken a COVID test around Thanksgiving time of 2020 and wore a mask on her face to hide the injuries. Tyler Williams would later testify that she didn't know about the problems in their relationship. Amanda had hidden this abuse from her family, protecting Edwards at great cost to herself. But Edwards knew exactly what he had done to her. Family members would later describe Amanda as enduring years of abuse and manipulation, though no formal charges had stemmed from earlier incidents. As we move into October 2023, the relationship between Amanda and Edwards was reaching a breaking point. The day-long argument that would end in tragedy didn't begin with some massive conflict. Instead, it started with something seemingly trivial that revealed deeper issues in their relationship. On October 8, 2023, while Amanda attended a cosmetology hair show in Columbus, Edwards sent her a text inquiring about her well-being. When he received no response, he called her, and this sparked an initial argument. What happened next showed the control and manipulation at play in their relationship. In retaliation for not responding to his text, Amanda contacted her cell phone provider to remove Edwards from her phone plan, effectively suspending his service. Prosecutors would later frame this as probably just the final straw in their turbulent dynamic. Edwards promptly obtained a new phone number, but the grievance festered and grew throughout the following day. By the morning of October 9, 2023, Amanda had returned home from Columbus, and the couple resumed arguing over the unanswered text and the phone suspension. Testimonies indicate the dispute persisted intermittently throughout the day, with Amanda repeatedly instructing Edwards to leave the house. This was Amanda trying to end the relationship and remove him from her home, but Edwards wasn't willing to accept that decision. Edwards testified that Amanda warned him, "If you do stay here tonight, you're going to have to sleep with one eye open." This statement revealed Amanda's fear and knew Edwards was capable of violence. She had experienced it before, and now, as she tried to end the relationship, that danger was escalating. In response to her warning, Edwards claimed he removed his 2 personal firearms from the bedroom nightstand and placed them in his car. His explanations for this action would vary depending on who was asking and when. In police interrogation footage shown at trial, he first claimed he removed the guns because Amanda made a motion suggesting she might access them. But in cruiser camera audio, he admitted he feared he might use them on her amid the heated exchange. Later, he would claim he was worried she might use them on him. These shifting stories revealed a man who was constantly adjusting his narrative to fit whatever seemed most advantageous at the moment. And critically, removing only his 2 guns left Amanda's revolver tucked under the mattress on her side of the bed. Prosecutors would later highlight this as evidence of forethought, noting Edwards knew the exact location of Amanda's weapon. As evening progressed on October 9, 2023, the argument shifted locations within the house. Initially, they argued in the basement while Tyler and her 4-year-old daughter remained upstairs. Eventually, Amanda ascended from the basement, leaving Edwards below for several hours. Around 11 o'clock that night, Edwards decided to comply with Amanda's repeated demands that he leave. He went upstairs to the bedroom they shared to gather his work clothes, but what happened next would be recorded on Edwards' own cell phone, creating evidence that would ultimately convict him.
Hearing a kitchen drawer open, Edwards testified that Amanda emerged holding a butcher knife in one hand and a long-necked Bic lighter in the other. She stated she intended to defend myself. Edwards activated his cell phone camera and began recording what would become the first of 3 videos.
The prosecution said that this first video is of Williams holding a knife while arguing with Edwards, putting the knife down and then walking towards her fiance.
The video captured Edwards zooming in on the knife and questioning her, "What are you doing with the knife?" Her response was clear, "I'm going to defend myself." The first video showed Amanda charging at Edwards, snatching the phone from his hands and stabbing the phone's screen. Edwards would later claim these actions left him with a light scratch on his neck and a tear in his shirt. At one point in that video, Amanda set the knife down on a ledge and walked toward Edwards with just the lighter in her hand. If Edwards truly feared for his life in that moment, why didn't he escape? Why didn't he leave the room when she wasn't even holding the knife? Instead, Edwards recorded a second video that lasted just 1 second, taken at 11:32 p.m. Then came the third video, recorded at 11:38 p.m. Between the first video at 11:31 and the third video at 11:38, roughly 7 minutes passed. What happened in those 7 minutes would become central to the case, and the only person who could say what occurred was Edwards himself. The problem for Edwards was that his stories about those 7 minutes kept changing. In that shaky third video, which captured audio of the shooting and was forensically enhanced for trial, Edwards jumped to Amanda's side of the bed, retrieved her revolver from under the mattress, and fired all 6 rounds. The bullets inflicted 8 wounds on Amanda's body. One shot went through the side of her neck, causing immediate paralysis from the neck down. Another shot to her back proved fatal. Let me emphasize what that neck wound meant. The moment that bullet struck Amanda's neck, she could no longer hold the knife, move her arms, or pose any threat whatsoever to Edwards. Amanda was completely incapacitated, paralyzed, and helpless. Yet Edwards continued firing and emptied every single round from that revolver into Amanda's body.
You just said you were de-escalating by telling her to chill out. Why didn't you de-escalate further by saying, "I've got your gun, please stop"?
He never attempted to de-escalate the situation or leave the room, despite having multiple opportunities to do so. Instead, he retrieved the gun and fired 6 times at the woman who had built a life, raised children, served her community, and dared to tell him to leave her home. After the shooting, Tyler Williams heard the gunshots from elsewhere in the house. She rushed upstairs, but Edwards blocked her from helping her mother.
Traumatized the moment I walked in the room and see my mom lying there. And I was even more traumatized. I couldn't even hold her with her last breath.
Tyler immediately rushed to help, but Edwards prevented her from rendering aid to Amanda and instead instructed her to call 911 while he dialed 911. Edwards called the Warrenville Heights Police Department himself, stating he had just killed his fiance. police and EMS arrived to find Amanda unresponsive. She was transported to a nearby hospital and pronounced dead early on October 10, 2023. The police interviews that followed the shooting revealed even more troubling aspects of Edwards' story. In the back of Officer Viddick's cruiser, Edwards gave his first version of events. Edwards said Amanda's eyes got really red and he saw like a demon coming out of he. She then got a butcher knife, which he recorded on his phone, then she went back downstairs. He claimed that was when he went and put his 2 guns in the car, thinking she was going to calm down. Then, according to this first version, she got the knife again and he recorded her again. So in the cruiser, Edwards was saying he removed the guns during that 7-minute window between the first and third videos. But the next day, during his interview at the police station, everything changed. Now Edwards claimed Amanda told him to sleep with one eye open and she held him hostage that whole time. He said he reached for the guns and that's why he took them out, because he didn't want her to use them. This version created a logical impossibility. If she was holding him hostage the entire time, when did she reach for the guns, causing him to take them down to his car? The stories didn't align. They couldn't both be true. Forensic analysis and the videos themselves contradicted Edwards' self-defense claim in multiple ways. The autopsy performed by Dr. Elizabeth Mooney confirmed that 6 shots caused 8 wounds, with the next shot causing immediate and complete paralysis. Ballistics expert Kristen Koth's testimony supported the prosecution's timeline. Most damningly, at the end of the third video's audio recording, there was a sliding sound. Prosecutors argued this was the sound of Edwards sliding the knife under Amanda's body after he had shot her. When police arrived, they found the knife under Amanda's body with no blood on the blade. Edwards had told police that Amanda was holding the knife in her hand when she fell, but the medical examiner's findings made this impossible. The shot that paralyzed Amanda happened instantly, yet that's exactly what Edwards told police, revealing his effort to stage the scene and support his false narrative of self-defense. Officer Jordan, who went upstairs immediately to help Amanda, never even noticed the knife until EMS arrived because he was focused on trying to save her life. What happened immediately after Edwards' arrest sparked outrage throughout the Cleveland community and beyond. Edwards was initially released without charges after 48 hours of detention because preliminary evidence appeared consistent with Ohio's Stand Your Ground laws. Under Ohio Revised Code Section 2901.05, which places the burden on the prosecution to disprove self-defense beyond a reasonable doubt, investigators felt they didn't yet have enough to hold Edwards. This decision ignited immediate and widespread public outcry. Amanda's family, her church community at the Word Church, and her Delta Sigma Theta sorority sisters organized quickly and powerfully. Pastor R.A. Vernon led press conferences where he mobilized supporters and demanded transparency from the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office.
In the tradition of the Black church and certainly Black fraternities working together, sometimes it is only public pressure that moves the needle. And we could not afford to let her just become a footnote in history and yesterday's news. We demand, and really I don't want to use that word, we beg. In Bible language, we beseech for justice. I'll say this, Prosecutor O'Malley, who I'm sure is watching now, then told me, Pastor Vernon, I have not received anything. It is still in the hands of Warrenville. And so we have not been given anything. We don't know anything. I said, well, now you know.
Over 20 people attended court proceedings wearing pins with Amanda's photo and holding Justice for Amanda signs.
Outside Warrenville Heights Police Department, there are family, friends, and even sorority sisters who all want one thing. Justice for Amanda! With weary hearts.
I have to live the rest of my life knowing that I wasn't there for my baby.
Amanda Williams' mother and daughter, Tyler Williams, say they're not giving up in their fight for justice during a press conference Tuesday afternoon at the Word Church.
I just want justice for my mom. Something has to happen. We don't feel safe.
Amanda Williams was killed more than 2 weeks ago after what started as a domestic violence call. Warrensville Heights police had her fiance in custody, but he was released from jail after Warrensville Heights told News 5 in a statement that the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office determined there was insufficient evidence to charge him. Prosecutors also told us he had plans to claim self-defense, so we reached back out for an update. In a statement, they say their office received preliminary reports from police on Monday and are waiting for additional evidence. Once prosecutors believe the investigation is fully complete, they will determine how to proceed, which will likely include a presentation to the grand jury.
Let me be crystal clear that there's more to this case than you may know.
With this, Pastor R.A. Vernon, along with Williams' family, friends, and sorority sisters, went to Warrensville Heights Police Department today to present pictures and text messages of what they say is evidence in her case.
Our deepest condolences for you.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate that.
The life of my sister matters. And for that, we won't stop until we get justice for Amanda.
After standing outside for nearly an hour, family and friends left hopeful.
They are working on it.
That justice will be served.
They're listening to us and it's moving forward. We're happy about that. Very happy about that.
We reached out to Warrensville Heights Police Department, and at this time, they have yet to respond back to our request. In Warrensville Heights,
justice will be served.
Remy Murray, News 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be worth it, baby.
Amanda's mother, Georgia Williams, spoke about the need for closure for her grandchildren. Attorney Ian Friedman, representing the family, noted that initial police evidence was incomplete. Nonica Slade-Jackson of Delta Sigma Theta emphasized, "The life of my sister matters, and for that we won't stop until we get justice for Amanda." Amanda's funeral on October 19, 2023, at the Word Church drew hundreds of mourners. A Delta Sigma Theta service at 9 a.m. preceded the main service at 11 a.m. The outpouring of love and grief was overwhelming. The community's persistent advocacy and presentation of additional evidence, including those devastating text messages from 2020, contributed to the prosecutor's decision to present the case to a grand jury. On November 2, 2023, a Cuyahoga County grand jury indicted Edwards on 1 count of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 1 count of domestic violence. All the serious charges included firearm specifications. Edwards surrendered the next day and was held on $1 million bond. At a bond hearing on November 8th, Assistant Prosecutor Kevin Filiatro argued the videos showed no de-escalation, suggesting premeditation rather than spontaneous self-defense. The trial began on February 26, 2024, before Judge Stephen E. Gall in Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court.
Warrensville Heights man faced the jury today for the murder of his fiancée. Tyrell Edwards is accused of killing 46-year-old Amanda Williams at their home back in October. Now today, opening arguments were presented in court.
Prosecutors Kevin Filiatro and Ayokune Akindele opened by framing the shooting as the culmination of a turbulent relationship, with Edwards' recordings representing a calculated plot rather than genuine fear for his safety. Over 4 days of testimony, the jury heard from Tyler Williams, who recounted the horror of that night. They heard from police officers who described the scene in Edwards' contradictory statements. They watched the cell phone videos that Edwards himself had recorded. Forensic experts testified about the autopsy findings and ballistics evidence that contradicted Edwards' claims. On day 4 of the trial, Edwards himself took the witness stand.
Trial against Tyrell Edwards, and Edwards himself took the stand today, arguing he shot his fiancée Amanda Williams in self-defense. Edwards said they started dating in 2017. He moved in 2019, got engaged in 2022, and then in October last year, they got into an argument over responding to texts. Edwards said she canceled his phone line. The argument escalated when they both got home that night. Edwards said she asked him to leave and started throwing his clothes out. He testified Amanda told him if he was going to stay that night, he's going to have to sleep with one eye open.
Defense attorney Andy Petropoulos had Edwards testify that he feared for his life when Amanda came at him with the knife, claiming he had no choice but to shoot. But cross-examination was devastating for Edwards' credibility. He initially denied ever being violent with Amanda, but when confronted with the November 2020 text messages, his denials crumbled. The messages were used to impeach his testimony, showing the jury that Edwards was willing to lie on oath about his history of abusing Amanda. Edwards admitted he never warned Amanda that he had retrieved her gun. On March 4, 2024, after deliberating for several hours, the jury returned their verdict.
And we have breaking news. Just moments ago, Terrell Edwards was found guilty of murder and felonious assault in the death of his fiancée, Amanda Williams.
Edwards was found not guilty of aggravated murder, which required proof of prior calculation and design, but guilty of 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 1 count of domestic violence, all with firearm specifications. The sentencing hearing on March 11, 2024, brought Amanda's family's pain into sharp focus. Tyler Williams delivered a victim impact statement that left the courtroom in tears.
My mother was a family-oriented person. She was my motivator, my best friend. She was the glue to this family. She was my guidance, my everything. I just can't live without her, and I can't imagine just living life without my mom. I can't never call my mom again and tell her I love her. I can't never call and tell her about my day, about how my daughter is doing, how she's growing up. I can't do that no more. He can do that. He can still call his mom. He can still call and check on her. They can all call and check and see how he's doing in jail.
Joey Lewis, Amanda's brother, spoke about his sister's special nature and how she had helped raise him.
Right. I'm her brother. She had a big part of raising me. She made me the man I am today. He know what he did. I know that, I can't forgive him for this. He gave my sister everything he had. He gave her everything he had to give her in that gun. Every ounce of it. Please give him what you got in your, or every ounce of what you can give him. See, how could you kill that woman like that, Terrell? Tell me, man. How did you do that to her, man?
Ian Friedman read a statement from Amanda's son, Tristan Benbay, who was unable to attend because he was at the Air Force Academy.
I'll never be able to buy her that new house I talked about since I was a kid. My mother won't be able to see me graduate from the Air Force Academy in 2025, a decision that she helped finalize.
All the knowledge and life skills he still needed to learn from his mother were gone forever. Edwards chose not to make any statement at his sentencing. He showed no emotion throughout the hearing, avoiding eye contact with Amanda's family.
Accept that affidavit, I'll sign counsel. To say that this is a tragic case is an understatement to say the very least.
Judge Gall sentenced Edwards to life in prison with parole eligibility after 24 years.
The loss to this family and the community is immeasurable. There is no amount of time, in terms of years, that is anyway meant to or will ever equate to the loss of Amanda's life.
This consisted of a life sentence with parole after 15 years for the murder conviction, plus 9 years for firearm specifications that had to run consecutively. Edwards appealed his conviction in 2025, arguing multiple errors, including improper admission of the prior bad acts evidence and prosecutorial misconduct. But on February 27, 2025, the Ohio 8th District Court of Appeals unanimously affirmed Edwards' convictions and sentence. The appellate court ruled that the prior acts evidence was properly used for impeachment and that characterizations during trial did not prejudice the outcome. The court found sufficient evidence to support the convictions and rejected Edwards' claims that the verdict was against the weight of the evidence. This case has broader implications that extend beyond one family's tragedy. It coincided with the United States Supreme Court's review of United States v. Rahimi, which was decided in June 2024 and upheld federal restrictions on gun possession by domestic abusers. Statistics show that over half of intimate partner homicides involve guns, with nearly 13,000 gun sales blocked annually due to domestic violence histories. Amanda's death highlighted gaps in protections, especially regarding how quickly situations can turn lethal when firearms are accessible in abusive relationships. The case also sparked discussions about Ohio's stand your ground laws, which were expanded in 2021 under Senate Bill 175.
These laws eliminate the duty to retreat in any lawful location, but critics argue they may encourage escalation and violence. Amanda's case demonstrated how such laws can initially shield perpetrators of domestic violence, allowing them to claim self-defense even when they are the aggressors in a situation they created. What do you think about this case? Do you think Amanda had some kind of fault in the murder for pushing him too far? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.